In May 1945, half the globe erupted in celebration. The Nazi regime had surrendered, and the war in Europe was finally over. But looking out across the Pacific, a completely different reality was still playing out. To close the distance to the Japanese mainland, American forces executed a brutal strategy called island hopping. They conquered specific, highly fortified islands, bypassing others. Each captured atoll provided an airstrip, bringing heavy bombers within operational range of the enemy. The human cost of closing that distance was staggering. At Iwo Jima, the Japanese defense relied on heavily fortified, interconnected tunnel networks hidden deep beneath the volcanic sand. Nearly 7,000 American Marines died fighting for a microscopic patch of rock, barely 8 square miles wide. The grim mathematics of the Pacific Theater were now perfectly clear to the Allies. The closer they pushed to Tokyo, the more the casualty rates climbed. Then came Okinawa. It was the bloodiest engagement of the entire Pacific War, and a direct, terrifying preview of what an invasion of the home islands would look like. Faced with an overwhelming Ally naval fleet, Japan introduced kamikaze warfare. Hundreds of pilots were ordered to bypass traditional combat, deliberately crashing their aircraft directly into American ships. Looking at the tens of thousands of bodies left on Okinawa, American military planners ran the numbers for Operation Downfall, the proposed ground invasion of Japan. The projections estimated hundreds of thousands of deaths on both sides. Despite these inevitable losses, Japan's military leadership outright refused to consider unconditional surrender, guaranteeing a stalemate of pure attrition. A mainland invasion meant months, perhaps years, of block-by-block slaughter. To avoid that reality, American commanders turned toward an unthinkable alternative. Thousands of miles away, in the deep isolation of the New Mexico desert, American scientists were racing to finish a highly classified physics project. On July 16, 1945, years of theoretical research culminated in the Trinity test. The physical power of the explosion proved atomic science could be weaponized. The Allies issued a final ultimatum to Japan, demanding immediate surrender. When it was rejected, President Harry Truman authorized the weapons deployment. On August 6, a single American B-29 bomber named the Enola Gay flew across the Pacific, carrying a payload unlike anything ever created. In this single flight, human warfare quietly crossed a technological threshold from which it could never return. The atomic bomb vaporized the center of Hiroshima. Tens of thousands of people were killed instantly in the unprecedented blast. That immediate destruction was followed by a horrifying secondary wave. Tens of thousands more civilians died in the following months, from severe burns, physical injuries, and acute radiation sickness. Even with a major city completely wiped off the map, the Japanese War Council remained deadlocked. The military stubbornly refused to yield. 3 days later, the United States dropped a second atomic bomb, this time on the city of Nagasaki, pushing the country to its breaking point. The sheer scale of the devastation finally broke the stalemate. Bypassing his divided military commanders, Emperor Hirohito broadcast directly to the Japanese public by radio, asking them to endure the unendurable. On September 2, 1945, delegates signed the formal surrender documents on the deck of the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay. The deadliest global conflict in human history was finally over, but bringing it to a halt required unleashing apocalyptic devastation. News of the surrender triggered an overwhelming global exhale. Some millions of soldiers and citizens. The celebration was rooted in the profound personal relief that they were actually going to survive. But that relief existed alongside an incomprehensible final toll. Between 70 and 85 million people were dead. Across Europe and Asia, historic capitals and major industrial centers were reduced to vast fields of ash and shattered brick. As the dust settled, the global public was forced to reckon with the sheer scale of the Holocaust and other state-sponsored atrocities, horrors that would take years to fully process. Beneath the celebrations, the surviving population was deeply traumatized, staring directly at humanity's absolute capacity for self-destruction. There was a desperate, immediate need to ensure this could never happen again. Just weeks after the fighting stopped, the United Nations was founded as a diplomatic mechanism specifically designed to prevent a Third World War, a conflict that began with a single broken treaty and a dictator's demand for revenge had consumed the entire globe, leaving it split between two atomic superpowers. The fires of the 1940s eventually burned out, giving way to the delicate, interconnected era we inhabit today. The conclusion of World War II finalized the borders, built the international institutions, and established the deep psychological guardrails of our modern world.